Yeah,
Let me.
welcome, Dharshani. It is live.
Sure. Thank you. Okay. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to yet another, session where I'm going to talk about coaching. Or see, these days these have been named in different terms: coaching, coaches, mentors, all these things. And let's understand, because different people will have different definitions or different ways of defining who's a coach or who's a mentor. All these things will come in a loop. So why did I choose this topic for today is sometimes asking a person the right question at the right time makes a lot of difference, and that's equally more important before we start doing something. Asking the appropriate questions at the appropriate time. So that is something that we are going to focus upon for today's session, basically. So what happens, when you have a coach, or why you should hire a coach, or why you should have a mentor, is that many a times we are either in our past or we are either in our future, isn't it? Thinking of something, or that is how our mind works. So basically, what happens is when we are loaded with too much of information, or when we are loaded with too much of things to do, we are unable to ask the right question at the given point of time. Everybody agrees on this? And sometimes we even
Yes.
miss out, okay, what needs to be done. Many times we miss out this, or we don't evaluate ourselves. Okay, this is what has happened, this is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, what are the questions I'll have to ask myself, or whom should I go ask this particular question, or whom should I approach to get a guidance on this particular situation, isn't it? So these things happens, but we need to understand all. Another segment is also that we are also humans. So many a time we start not validating as to what we go through. So basically, this is where coaching or mentoring comes into picture. Guiding you in the right path, or guiding you to pick up the right career. Many a time we just be the follower. Let's be the leader for now, or let's start becoming that leader in you, isn't it? Even Shabnam ma'am will have kind of a leadership quality. Many times we are not able to identify what is our leadership quality to put our best foot forward. Okay, so this is what happens, isn't it? Clear till now, or does this make sense? Whoever is
Yes,
listening to me.
absolutely. Yeah, we are
Yeah.
listening. Definitely makes sense. Yeah.
See, basically, this is what happens. People think, it is not right, or individuals think they, it is not right to get help. All this misconception, all this what you call misunderstanding, all these things are there. What I'm urging you to do, or come up with today's session is nothing but to ask for help. Whenever you need to ask for that particular help. And before I jump into the session, or before I jump into something, I just want to give a, make a quote here before I, start the process of what I planned for today, which is two things. One is confidence is a journey, but not a destination. When I say this, confidence is like building a muscle. Like you go to a gym, you go do yoga, you do different things to build up your body. Similarly, confidence is also something like that, where you start doing things which will boost your confidence. I'm not saying every time you'll be, it's not that you'll be confident every time, but confidence comes by doing things. And how, and another, thing which I wanted to give or start with a quote. This is one quote which is already always stuck in my mind, which is, ambition is the path to success, persistence is the vehicle to for you to arrive in. So many a times it's irritating, it's frustrating to, when you understand something, this is where you're getting stuck. We many a times to break that pattern also it's little very difficult to catch hold of or difficult to break that pattern. Say for example, if you had given a situation or if you have given a chance that if I had asked you how would your life look if you have achieved your biggest goal, what if I told you that you could start that today? If anyone wants to share just that one step, you don't have to see the big picture, but what is that one step you would take up to achieve that goal, or what would be that one step you must have already done if you have achieved your goal, which you never thought you wouldn't.
One step.
So we need to start reverse engineering here where, yes, Rajvin.
One step that I would take that would help me achieve my goal would be visualization.
Visualization. Thank you. So it must be different things for different people, but we need to understand any personality development or any personal development starts with self-awareness or knowing yourself, knowing your strength, knowing your weakness. In every step, you need to know where do you stand and where do you want to go. It is like from point A, you're going to point B. So this comes with self-awareness is the beginning stage of any transformation. Because before every breakthrough, there's a breakdown which happens. But we need to accept that breakdown and see what it is that trying to teach us, or what it is that trying to make us understand, or where do we stand. Clear? So this is the first step which we have to take as an individual in our self-transformation journey. And then we need to understand what are our long-term goals with the current habits or the current short-term goals which we are achieving. Are we reaching there? Because evaluation is a continuous process. Wherever you are, wherever you go, evaluation is continuous, and learning is also a continuous process. But it is like it's not about just nurturing one day and leaving the rest of the days just like that. Every day, as you do a physical workout, you also need to start nurturing your mind each and every day. It is not just you do one day and leave it there. It's not that. But it is more of you doing it every single day. And it is the kind of practices which you have developed which will help you get you there. It can be relationship, it can be career advancement, it can be your happiness, or it can be overall of your general well-being. Because mindset is the key here. It is like planting a seed in the soil. Something similar to that. Clear till now? Or do you have any questions you want me to ask? Or how coaching or how coaching as a tool can help you, or how hiring a coach or hiring a mentor can help you at this point of time is there are some certain key factors which we'll have to understand here. So as I said, the first thing is your self-awareness, where you stand. Oh, understanding your strength, understanding your weakness, understanding your goal. Then comes your habits, your daily habits or your daily routine, what you have. Should you make any changes in that? Then comes your mindset. Are you like are you a person who just goes, okay, this is what it is, this is how it should be? You're just going with a fixed mind, okay, this is how it is gonna be, but you cannot handle any other uncertainty which comes in your way? Or are you having a growth mindset, which is basically nothing but are you open in learning? Are you open, or are you curious in learning things? Simple, because we all have different definitions to this, and we have different ways how we achieve this particular growth, or the fixed mindset, or the habits, or the skill sets which we need to have for our, to achieve a goal. See, these are just certain things which a coach can help you to put things into track. This will just see the we have to walk that path, but this coach or mentor can set that direction right for you before you start doing something. Instead of, see, you will make mistakes, but you will learn from mistakes, but we should not make the same mistake as we did earlier, just to avoid that. All these things can go hand in hand. Clear? Or any questions? No questions. Okay. So coming back, so this is where why, or how having a coach or a mentor can help you going forward. Many a times for different reasons, we just don't do this, but that comes a time where you start feeling stagnant, or you start feeling stuck. Okay, what next? Or what should I be doing next? We all kind of get into these roadblocks or these kinds of hurdles on the way on achieving what we want to achieve. A very simple thing I'll tell you: to identify your purpose or identify your where are you getting stuck. If those who wants can try this out and let me know in the comments, or whoever wants to share an experience here in the next time when I come back for a session here. So just maybe try with one day and see how things shift, and you can increase the number of days. Okay. Being silent. I'm not saying, talk if somebody comes and asks you something, otherwise, or try to be just quiet, or go to such place where you start sitting with nature. Somewhere you have that kind of quietness. What happens, I'll tell you, when you start practicing more of stillness, quietness, your mind will start settling down, and your view will become more clearer, isn't it? I would, you might, ask any individual who has come after a long day to go ask them something. They'll not have any clarity. They'll be so, they must be having so much of mixed emotions or mixed thoughts, or they're preoccupied with something. Then if you go talk to them, something will not enter your brain, or you'll not be able to understand what that person is trying to say. Yeah. So that is what happens. So a coach or a mentor can set or give you this, show you the path of what you can achieve, how you can achieve. We can just set the path or the direction right. But we have to figure out what works through asking open-ended or close-ended questions or statements. But you will be able to figure out what works for you. That is where a coach or a mentor comes into picture. See, I basically do one-on-ones and group coaching or group mentoring, whatever we want to call it, you can call it. But this is how it happens when you have a person like this. So whoever wants this, or whoever wants this kind of a help or service, feel free to connect with me, or you can connect with me in different means. So this is one of which. So many a times this happens that we all set goals, but we don't have a process to evaluate that and come back and have a check on it, because we are always into multitasking. But it'll, as far as I'm concerned, it will pull down your productivity, because you'll not be able to finish one task efficiently. Many a times this happens. Or many a times we start getting attached too much with the client's emotions. So sometimes we need to have some kind of a habit which breaks that thing for you, so that you come back to yourself. Or then you don't do that on timely basis, that's when you get into burnout or these kinds of issues. So having that me time or having that kind of a time or some kind of habits which should help you to release things, it is better. Or if anyone is feeling stuck or if anyone is staying, don't know what to do next, try these things or try all these whatever I've mentioned today, and then we will see as to what can be done. See, this was just like awareness, okay? It's not something that I'm urging you to do it, but if at any point of time if you feel this, maybe I can introduce you to a technique where you can start focusing on your why you want to do something. Every day start writing your why. It will help you to keep you going in whatever you're doing each and every day, however tiring it gets into. Any questions? Rajvin, Meena ji, Vineet Kumar, sir. Any questions you want to ask or any experiences you want to share?
Darshani, would you like to share your best experience in coaching?
Okay,
Or
best
the
best
same, or
best
the
ex-
worst? Any, both sides.
Okay, I'll tell you. Sometimes, see, if you take any successful people, they'll not come upfront and tell you they have a coach or a mentor. But many a times, for me, it has happened that when you get that right person to ask you the right question, your life changes so drastically. It happens actually. That's how even this TEDx thing which happened for me this year, because I think that is the best thing which has happened in 2024 for me. Going and giving a talk in TEDx was the best thing which has happened all these while. So sometimes asking the right question and getting the clarity, many a times I've been there, having the clarity in mind, you feel as if you have just taken off something heavy from your shoulders. Because when you're carrying your past behind from within you, your shoulder is the first place where it starts aching, if you've noticed. Especially your shoulder and your neck starts paining. For no reason it'll start paining. But it's more of your past baggage which gets stored. So it happens. So I think that eureka moment is the best place to be. Yeah.
Yes, we often forget to observe our body so closely.
No. See, every time, if you say, for example, you don't exercise for a week, and after a week you go try exercising, you'll feel as if something got released out of your body. It's basically your emotions which is getting stored. So this is what happens. See, because I don't give too much of information and ask you to do it. Mostly my sessions are little shorter, but you'll only find 4 to 5 things to do. Because even if I give you too much, even to do that first 1 or 2 things is very hard. So that is why mostly my sessions are a little shorter, but it'll be more kind of a thought-provoking and impactful one. Yes.
Yes.
Rajvin, any questions, anything you want to share before we call this a close?
Yeah. So, I'm gonna get one-to-one coaching soon. A few have asked me for one-to-one coaching for laughter yoga, 1 hour session a day. So, any tips for you? I've asked many coach. So, for yourself, how you do it?
Okay. first we need to understand, or we need to analyze as to, okay, where is the root cause of a particular issue is arising out of, or what is the root cause. Spend time in understanding your client so that it's easier later to handle. Have a checklist, or you can do this wheel of life ka activity to
No, I
understand.
always do a checklist, but
Do wheel of life. That's more than enough for you to
but
understand your client.
sometimes the sometimes what you want and what the client wants is different.
Happens.
Um, that's why.
It happens. So it's okay. See, certain things cannot be discussed here. We'll have to take it off the recording and discuss it, because it is like you giving your USP or whatever you do just upfront. That might happen. So that's why that we'll correct on a personal front to discuss it further. So wheel of life is nothing but you take up a particular set of areas from your life and rate it from between 1 and 10 to, say, from your current to your desired level. Okay, this is where I stand, this is where I want to go. What all can be done?
No, so I would ask the client like, how much do you know about laughter yoga? What are the things you hope to achieve, and all these kind of things. Basic
That you can do.
basic kind of things, but uh it's a heavy load because 12 hours condensed to 1 hour. Certain That's happened with one-to-one coaching. Yeah. So that's why, because some people don't have the time to uh go for 12-hour coaching, 12-hour class, 12-hour certification.
Mm.
For myself, being a coach,
Yeah, it happens. Happens.
coaches must be dynamic, coaches must be versatile, coaches must be charismatic, and coaches
Yes.
must be strong-willed. So that's how I see myself, and that's some tips for you guys. And thank you, Dashni, for a good session. We will.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shabnam ma'am. I have to thank her more than anyone else.
Yes, thank you.
No, you
Thank
are
you,
on
Shabana.
much. So thank you so much, Darshani. Thank you,
Thank you so much.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.